It is midday on the 1st of January 2000. Incredible to say the word 2000 in this context, but we have to repeat it just to remind ourselves that that's where we arrived. And incredible really to think that Big Ben there is telling the world that we've crossed the threshold into a new millennium. Now, bells, as we say, are ringing all over the United Kingdom, in every part of the United Kingdom right now. This is St Clement Danes on the Strand in London. The famous Wren Church, magnificent church with a magnificent musical tradition. Over to the western tip of Wales and the Cathedral of St David's, a place of pilgrimage, of course, since the Middle Ages. And the bells of St David's there tolling will be heard all along the coast of Pembrokeshire there. Over to Northern Ireland and at St Nicholas's Church at Carrickfergus, the ringers there doing very hard work and proclaiming to the local people that it is midday, part of Ring 2000, the exercise to tell the whole of the United Kingdom via the bells that we have crossed the threshold into the new millennium at midday here. Looking at the city of Norwich, which has more churches per square mile than any other city in the United Kingdom, and the bells again there in the magnificent medieval churches of Norwich. St Peter Mancroft, above all, laying claim to ringing out the very first ever peal of full bells in the United Kingdom. And we're looking, of course, at St Margaret's, Westminster, flanking Westminster Abbey there and on Parliament Square. Bells at St Margaret's that have rung on so many historic occasions, now telling the people of central London that it is past noon on the 1st of January 2000. And at Haddington, East Lothian, where we visited a short while ago, St Mary's Church there, the bells telling local people again that it is past noon as part of Ring 2000.
After that wonderful fanfare to New Year, it's time to stop for a moment or two and reflect a little on the future and what it means.
There's been a place of worship on this site since Roman times. So St Paul's can boast that it has celebrated a millennium before. This is a cathedral of history and heroes. Here the lives of so many famous figures are commemorated. There's Alexander Fleming, who discovered penicillin, William Blake, Florence Nightingale, and with perhaps the grandest monument of all, that great sea hero, Admiral Horatio Nelson. Recently, we've been inundated with polls on the heroes of our day. There's the man or woman of the year, the face of a generation. Muhammad Ali is the sports personality of the century. William Shakespeare is said to be the man of the millennium. Each era throws up new heroes, people who seem to stand head and shoulders above the crowd. One of my heroes was a man called Jack Titterton. He was a burly toolmaker at Ford's Dagenham plant, not far from where I grew up. Of course, you've never heard of Jack Titterton, but I can never forget him. He never quite made it to the cover of Hello magazine, but his love of life and his robust faith changed the course of my life. Many of the most heroic figures in our world are entirely unknown, people who never achieve fame or fortune, but whose influence may be far greater in the long run. I recently came across a small church in Hove, which with only 20 people to start with, raised £2 million and converted half their buildings into a hostel for homeless people. I also met Derek Phillips, a quiet, unassuming man from Rochester, who founded a special home for terminally ill children after his daughter Demelza died tragically young. Or maybe you've heard of the Jubilee 2000 campaign, aiming to mark the millennium by cancelling the debts of the world's poorest countries. This movement of ordinary people has already wiped out $100 billion of those debts, a mighty achievement considering the idea came from Bill Peters and Martin Dent, two retired gentlemen who nobody has heard of. 2,000 years ago, Jesus Christ himself was an unsung hero, not an icon by modern standards. He didn't sell anything. He wasn't a sex symbol or a sports star. He wasn't interested in column inches for himself. At the time, no one realized that here was a person who would change human destiny, someone who really would stop all the clocks. Recent visitors to St. Paul's have been intrigued by this striking modern icon of Christ. Look closely at the detail, and you'll realize it's actually made up of the faces of thousands of unknown, ordinary people. I see it as a symbol of the way that each act of generosity and selflessness continues to signal the presence of Jesus Christ in history. Someone once said that history is written by the victors. But I believe God keeps an alternative record, a chronicle of the unsung heroes of history, nurses and teachers, aid workers, those campaigning for peace and justice, environmentalists, people caring for sick relatives, those who may not look for special status, but anonymously contribute to our common good. It is through the quiet acts of kindness and mercy conducted by often unknown people that the course of history is changed. It was changed forever by the extraordinary life of Jesus Christ. My prayer is that the face of Jesus, which continues to look with love on us all, will inspire us to follow him into the new millennium. May I wish you all a very happy new year.
Well, there's plenty going on even at this time of the day. Let's look at some of them here in London, starting with a revisit to some people we met earlier. In 1938, 53 of these girls made a solemn pledge to meet up again on the steps of Dagenham Civic Centre at midday on the 1st of January 2000. Peggy Iris was their pipe major then, and she's here again today. Just a few moments ago, Peggy and a group of fellow pipers made their dreams come true as they read out their pledge once again.
We now promise that if possible and convenient, we shall sign this document will meet for a reunion of the Dagenham Girl Pipers at whatever building is then the civic headquarters of Dagenham at 12 o'clock noon on January 1st, 2000 AD.
So now let's go live to Dagenham and our reporter Richard Lindley.
Well, Gabby, as you can realise, that was a very, very emotional moment for these veterans of the Dagenham Girl Pipers Band. With me now are two very distinguished members of that band, the 11-year-old recruit 50 years and more, a pipe major, Peggy Iris, and Lily Vale, who also took the pledge and travelled the world too. Peggy, can I ask you first, what does this reunion really mean to you?
Well, it means a great deal, because as a teenager, I never expected to live this long.
And how do you actually get to learn the pipes in the first place? I think that's what most people find rather odd.
Well, we were taught by a pipe major of the King's Own Scottish Borders. He came to Dagenham and 12 of us from the Sunday school were picked to become pipers, and he taught us.
And after that, you taught yourself?
Yes, we carried on where he left off.
What was the best moment of the Dagenham Bell Pipers for you, the highlight of your career?
Well, I think one of the best was the 25th year, our anniversary, when we marched through the streets of London to St Paul's, where we had a special service and we gave a display on the steps, and that was a marvellous moment.
Wonderful. Lily, you remember making this pledge very clearly. What was it like? How do you remember that moment?
Well, it was one evening at the band practice, and the Reverend Graves had given us the result of a medical examination we had, which said there's no reason why we shouldn't live to the year 2000. And the very thought of that, us young girls reaching that old age, we quickly counted up on our fingers how old we might be.
Did you think you'd make it?
No, but here we are, we have arrived.
What do you feel about the pipers today? They're still going, as we're hearing and seeing now.
Yes, well, we're very proud to think they are still continuing and making this big effort that we all have made in the past, and all the girls that followed on in our footsteps. Not forgetting the girls that haven't been able to make the journey today.
What's it been like meeting all these people here today?
It's been a wonderful experience. It's brought back all our memories of our young years together.
What about you, Peggy, in terms of waiting for this moment to come? It's been a long time coming, hasn't it?
It has. I really didn't expect to be here, but I'm so pleased I am. I've seen girls today I haven't seen for years, and it's a great privilege to be here with them.
And it all grew out of a Sunday school.
Yes, that's quite true.
Quite a serious as well as an exciting moment for you.
Pardon?
Quite an exciting and serious moment for you, both together perhaps.
Yes, it is. It is. It's really emotional.
When they first told you you're going to learn the bagpipes, what was your reaction?
I thought it was a silly idea. I said only Scotsmen can play the bagpipes. But here we are.
What about you, Lily? How do you feel about having had this as a career yourself?
Well, I think it was a wonderful opportunity that we had, and we were all so determined to make a success of it.
How do you feel having done it today?
Oh, very proud indeed.
Absolutely wonderful. I'm so glad to see you both here. This is very good. And a magic moment for all of you. Some of these people you've not seen for ages, I take it.
That's true, yes. Some of them I haven't seen since before the war. So it's wonderful to see them now.
Congratulations to you both and to all the pipers. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Back to you, Gavi. Thank you.
Thank you very much. What a lovely story.
Yeah, there used to be, I used to watch them on Sunday night at London Palladium, black and white television, Bruce Forsyth. Very glamorous in those days. Makes you feel very old. Elsewhere in London, at the very centre in Trafalgar Square, the 14th annual London Parade is taking place. Now, this event, which has become a major date in the capital's diary, features over 12,000 marchers from all over the world. Jenny Trent-Hughes is with them.
Well, in case anyone at all is wondering what the cure for a hangover is, I can tell you it's noise. I am wide awake now. I have been shaken and stirred. We're here at the 14th annual London Day Parade, which this year is being called the Millennium Parade. It's the largest New Year's Day parade anywhere in the world. There are over 12,000 young people. Over half of them are from America, so we're seeing lots of smiles and shiny teeth, and young people from 5 continents. It is absolutely incredible what's going on. So just sit back and enjoy the parade, and I'm going to tell you little bits of information about what's going on. Oh, wow, look. Here comes Garfield I don't know if you can see this, but it's Garfield, and he is 55 feet over the head of the crowd. He's just wonderful. They're filled with helium and are usually associated with the Thanksgiving Day Macy's parade. But now we have them here. We have tons of them. I think we have a dozen of them today, and they are really incredibly exciting.
So here are the first of our big balloons.
Flying Garfield, which is a balloon sponsored by the Evening Standard. It's 55 feet tall and requires 6,500 cubic feet of helium. It's being handled by a contingent from a high school in Virginia. Just look at him. He's so big and cuddly. I don't think you could sit him on your bed. Oh, now here comes, yeah, that's the people handling the balloon. Wow, he's going overhead now. And it's just amazing. Look at that, it's an incredible, incredible view. Children really love looking at these balloons. I actually love looking at them myself, but I guess I'm just a child at heart. The weather here, for anybody who wants to hurry up and come down, is actually really quite good. It's not cold at all. We have a taxi, I'm not sure oh, I see what the taxi's doing in the middle of it. And the balloon is just coming along slowly. Lots of people, and then there's a band underneath, which is called the Spirit of Stonewall, another band from America. There we have a view from above of what's going on. There are all the people milling along, coming from different directions. It's a little quiet right now because people got up late this morning after being out all night last night. I know how that feels. But they're streaming in and everyone's in good spirits. You can hear lots of cheering in the background from the people in the stands. Prime Minister Tony Blair was out before, shaking hands and smiling, greeting everyone. It was good to see him. I tried to get him to tell us his New Year's resolution, but he wouldn't. Said he wasn't going to let us know at this time. Oh, the balloon's coming down. And here comes some cheerleaders. Oh, look, there's a clown. And I don't know, oh, with a turtle. Little girl looks like she's having a good time. Everyone really seems to be in good spirits here this morning. Cheerleaders shaking their pom-poms. Thank goodness they're dressed warmly for a change. When I was young and in school, cheerleaders wore tiny little skirts and always looked like they were freezing to death. So it's good to see. Okay, over to you in the studio, Michael.
Thank you, Jenny. Morning after the night before in London. Now, although we've been talking a lot about this new century, there are still plenty of people around who remember the one before last, who were born before 1900. Barbara Windsor took tea recently with some of these remarkable people, so let's now see how she got on.
Invention has kind of, changed your life?
A motor car.
Ah.
Motor car. My uncle had a motor car in 1904 and used to take us to parties in it. It was wonderful.
Yes,
it was an old bang, it is true. No windscreen as such. She had a horn that you blew, and that was it. We took it to parties.
I remember when my father took us out for a ride, he went out in his overalls
because you sort of have to get underneath the car to put something right that went wrong.
Yeah.
And in those days to go, you had to know where you can get petrol. Only chemists sold it.
Chemists?
And you had, before you started out, you had to find out which chemist had petrol on your route.
My life started off driving to school on a pony, then a bicycle, then a motor car. But I think the most wonderful invention is the plane.
The plane?
Yes, I've been up in the Concorde twice. I think it's marvellous.
What about you, Pauline?
I like the television.
Oh, do you?
Yes, I think that's always interesting.
You like to sit in your front room and switch on?
I remember that the times when there was no television.
No, so do I, yes.
And life is more interesting now, isn't it?
Yes, I suppose it is.
And you see, people are better educated and they know what's going on.
Oh, really? So you think television is a good thing? There you go, that's good.
Oh, I guess I think it's marvellous.
People ask me, to what do you attribute your long life?
Yes.
I say two things. I love the Lord, and I signed the pledge when I was 7. And it's made all the difference in my life. I've not been a good boy all my life, far from it. But I love him now, put it that way.
Good. Millie?
Be good and kind to everybody in a good heart.
That's nice.
Good.
That's all. No quarrelling, I don't want to know.
Yeah.
Just be good from your heart.
And you, Pauline, darling?
I've always been an optimist.
Have you? That's good.
Yes. And that's the only way to go through life, I think.
That's right.
Because people look for the bad side all the time.
They do actually, don't they?
I look for the good.
You know, my secret of long life, Johnson's baby powder.
Johnson's baby powder.
Every time I have a bath, I spray myself with Johnson's baby powder.
Well, it's been lovely taking tea with you all, and I hope to see you next year.
Yes.
Have we got a date?
Are you looking for a date?
I am. Are you offering? Oh, me luck's changed at last.
Another wish, Barbara. I hope to see you soon again.
Yes, you will. I'm
In the
going to get...
meantime, good health.
Thank you very much. I'm going to get up and give you all a little kiss. Okay? Mwah. Okay. All right, my lovelies.
Au revoir.
Okay. Au revoir. Okay. Mwah. Okay, and I'm going to come out. Oh, matron. Right.
She naughty.
What a wish.
Bye-bye, and God bless you all.
Barbara Windsor with some people who survived all the last century. Now, with a final update on the first results of the millennium bug, here's Peter Snow. Peter.
Well, Mike, for the first few hours of the new millennium, those little bugs, if they're there in our computers at all, have kept their heads very low. We first started following the story on Tomorrow's World in 1995. And last night, our own expert sources told us the state of alert worldwide was something like this. An amber warning of possible trouble in countries all around the world, almost on every continent. We should, said the experts, expect some sign of the damage we've done by describing the year in our computers, in our software, in just 2 digits. What would happen when the year 99 clocked up just to 00 and not 2000? Well, the whole world watched nervously as New Zealand entered the millennium first. But not a bug in sight. In Australia, the only hiccup there was when buses in some cities had their ticketing machines jam. All right for those passengers who got a free ride until it was fixed. The only potentially serious bug damage appeared to be in Japan. 2 nuclear plants had trouble with monitoring systems after midnight. 38 earthquake system sensing devices went failed, and also there was some trouble at airports with flight information computers. But Japan later said these problems had gone away. No news yet of any trouble in China or Russia, but there is a thought that next week, once the offices open, there may be trouble there. We don't know. It's too early to say, with business, of course. But action down here in Chechnya caused a bit of a frisson in the small hours. The Russians fired some Scud missiles from Russia into the Chechnya
state in Russia, and had to reassure the Americans it was part of their bombardment of the Chechen capital and not a bug-induced nuclear missile launch. No sign of the bugs biting in Europe yet. We'll have to wait for next week to be sure. Only at the French Weather Centre in Toulouse was there a sign of the bug. The new date that came up there on their forecast, instead of 1/1/2000, it read 1/1/19/100. In North America, there were a number of alerts, but the only one that may have been bug-related was in Milwaukee, where the power generation system computer in a big electric plant broke down and stopped the clocks synchronizing properly. There was apparently no danger to anyone, and power supplies were unaffected.
So, good news for the world and good news for Peter de Jager, who we joined at the start of the programme over 25 hours ago, as he was about to catch a transatlantic flight to London. Now, he's landed safely, thanks to a bug-free flight. But are we all really out of danger? Joining us down the line from Cambridge for the last time is our bug watcher, Bill Thompson, one of the programmers who caused the problem. Now, Peter's already put you through the mill, so I shan't go on about your little oversight. But Bill, you must be very relieved.
Oh, absolutely. I think anybody who's had anything to do with programming computers or even using them should be incredibly pleased that all the money that's been spent has actually been wisely invested, and that we've had so few problems, and none of them have been what you'd call significant. Now, of course, on Tuesday, when everybody goes back into their offices, back to work, we may well find lots of other small things have gone wrong, particularly with data entry programs where you have to enter dates into systems. And people may find that they have small problems there, but I think by and large we can feel very pleased with what we've done so far.
Few is the word.
Yes.
Peter?
Also joining us is head of the independent bug alert organisation Task Force 2000, Robin Guenier. Robin, come up and join us, will you? What's going on here? I mean, we've spent something like, what, £23 billion in Britain? Did we have to spend the money at all? Was there ever a problem?
Oh, yeah, there was a problem. I think it's all very gratifying. I mean, I agree with the stuff we've heard today. It's great. But I think we have to be a little bit careful, because this problem isn't only about what happens at midnight last night. I think we have to wait until people get back to their offices. We really put some pressure on information systems and banking systems and so on. So it's a little bit early to be triumphalist about this, so be a bit careful. I think we have to wait and see. We aren't through this one yet.
You're really telling us that come the end of this week, this coming week, we could then be looking at maps like we've just looked at, covered in red countries, covered in bugs?
I think that's a little unlikely as well. Our view has been that about 30% of problems happened last year. I must say last year now. So we're past those. Probably about 5% of problems only last night, 5 or 10% last night, and you see they've mainly been resolved. That leaves another 60%. And that 60% are going to come through the system next week and through January and maybe even later in 2000. So we've got some time to go yet. So I don't think you'll see very much at the end of next week either. I think we're going to be a bit cautious about this.
So you're not telling everyone, sorry, we were wrong to warn you, nothing much is going to go wrong anywhere.
I'm certainly not saying that, no. I mean, the warnings were correct and an enormous amount of work has been done. And I think a lot of people deserve a lot of credit and a lot of praise for that.
Robert Gurney, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Well, that's the last of our special Bug Watch reports here on 2000 Today. If you want to hear more about the bug, then tune into Radio 5 Live at 1 p.m. for The Verdict with Quentin Cooper. Michael.
Thank you. Right, it's strange to think, wasn't it, that when we started off this epic all those hours ago...
7 hours ago.
I remember talking to Peter Sissons, and we were saying that looking at the news that's likely to happen during the day, and this is to be the big running story, of course, indeed it was, but it wasn't the disaster, of course, thank the Lord, that people thought it might be.
No one, I mean, the usual thing about warning after warning after warning, paying a lot of money to put warnings into position so that the ultimate disaster doesn't happen. People then turn around and say, hey, you scaremongers in the news, what are you doing, sowing panic everywhere. But actually, it just goes to show that it worked. It worked in that sense. And, if major corporations spend a lot of money putting things right, you can bet your bottom dollar that there was a problem in the first place. That's the point. They wouldn't spend the money otherwise.
OK, thank you. Now, only an hour or so left, so let's take a look around the country and see a few of those high points again. Before we do, here are a few facts about last night. If you consider that 39 tons of fireworks are detonated in London alone, we reckon nationwide it was something like 200 tons. 345 million bottles of champagne were drunk, none in this studio, I have to say, sadly. And this morning, who knows how many aspirin and other hangover cures are being consumed. Does that ring any bells with you in Scotland? Sally Gray.
Thank you very much indeed, Michael. Yes, it does ring a lot of bells. And in fact, you've come to us just a bit too late there. We've just missed some naked people jumping into the Firth of Forth. But luckily, you won't be able to see that, which is probably a good thing. Anyway, let me tell you this. The people of Scotland are past masters at celebrating Hogmanay. In every corner of Scotland at this time of year, music, song and partying is second nature. Well, our presenter, Jackie Bird, celebrated in Shetland with lots of music and song. But first, she had to keep her feet firmly on the ground.
I'm at the RAF radar base on the island of Unst, at the very tip of Britain. To give you an indication of just where we are, Helen Young can't even reach here in a great big map with a stepladder. Now, they said work on the Millennium programme, think of the exposure. Now I know what they meant.
Well, last night I was in Stonehaven in the northeast of Scotland to celebrate Hogmanay. There was a wonderful fireball festival going on there where the whole streets became ablaze with bombastic balls of fire. And hopefully be able to see some of these pictures in just a second. There you go. It was very, very emotional indeed. Now these guys are swinging these fireballs above their heads and they're incredibly heavy. They've got to be really fit to do it. But it was a wonderful sight, really, really spectacular and extremely emotional as well. And the idea is that they take their balls of fire down to the harbour and cast them out to sea. And the idea is they're casting out the evil spirits and bringing in the new year. What a wonderful way to celebrate the new year. Okay, now I've now been handed another wee bit of script here. They used fire to recognise their heroes and celebrate their history. So as I said, we were all over Scotland celebrating, but we were also out and about during the day, and comedian Fred McCauley, now he's a funny man, started his day earlier by visiting the Central Mosque in Glasgow. Have a look at this.
Have you been fasting all day, boys?
Yes.
And what have we got here?
Dates.
Some dates, right? Kirsty Wart gets beluga caviar through in Edinburgh. We've got some dates. Now, we don't eat these just yet.
No,
take
no.
them with
You
us through
take
to
them
prayer.
with you when the signal is given to break the fast.
Right.
That's when you break the fast with. It's traditional to break the fast with the date, but you can break it with anything
With
that's
anything.
available. Yeah.
Okay, right, we'll hang on to that. We'll just stick it in the pocket for later on. Who's in charge of the water?
Somebody is there.
It's quite hot for me.
It is a bit hot. But people, when they open their fast, they like something, a bit tasty.
Right. It certainly is. Very tasty. You don't do carry-outs, do you?
No, I'm a doctor. I'm a general practitioner.
Fred also witnessed the first high-tech attempt at wrapping the world with art.
When that piece of paper hits this piece of paper, we will literally have wrapped the world. So off you go, you two. Okay. In you go. And that is it.
Isn't he brilliant? He looks like I did 10 years ago. Have you enjoyed your Hogmanay in Scotland?
I have. Hogmanay's been great. It's been lovely.
Fantastic. Thanks for having us. Good night. Well done, mate. Brilliant.
The wonderful Fred Macaulay there. Now, yesterday was the culmination of 7 days non-stop partying here in the capital city of Edinburgh. And we had a very special royal visitor. Prince Charles was here. Wonderful 24 hours of celebration here in Scotland. I've had a ball. I still can't believe I actually went for a dip in the Firth of Forth this morning. I'm still drying off. Anyway, from everybody here in Scotland, here in South Queensferry today, I wish you all a very, very happy new year. Over to you, Tim Vincent.
Hi, it is Tim Vincent here. Thank you very much, Sally. You joined us live here in Cardiff. It's a gloriously sunny day. There's people already out and there's lots of things still going on. The Civic Hall is behind me. Inside, they've got the kids zone, so you can take your kids down there and they can muck around all day. We've also got an internet cafe, which means that anybody that you have abroad that you want to send a message of goodwill to, you can do. Also, we've already found some people out here this morning that are making the most of the glorious sunshine. Tell me, what's your New Year's resolution?
I'm going to try to make a difference. To be a better person. To try and be kind to all my friends.
Mine is to take each day as it comes and not worry about the future.
All very good New Year's resolutions. Mine, by the way, is to have plenty of sleep after this. Sir, what's your New Year's resolution?
Mine's not to walk the dog so much.
Why is that?
Because it used to be a Doberman.
Cheap gag, but it works when you have a look. This is Lady. She's a 6-month-old puppy. She's fascinated by my mic, and she's taken her very first walk on New Year's Day. Now, I hear Sian Lloyd is somewhere over by the stage doing a bit of work with a construction hat on. She must be auditioning for the changing room team.
Now that's the thought, Tim. Actually, I think it quite suits me. You know, I've always wanted to be part of a rock and roll support crew and be close to the action. And yesterday, this really was one of the places to be, with great performances, fantastic lighting, and a vibrant sound system. We can almost still feel it reverberating here, can't we? Well, Katrin, did you catch any of it yesterday?
Yes, we couldn't come down, unfortunately, because we had you on, but watched on television, looked absolutely brilliant, so we decided to come down today and, you know, catch the atmosphere while I was still here, so...
So seeing it all inspired you to come back today?
Oh, definitely, yes.
Now, did you have a favourite performance at all, Rhys?
I quite enjoyed Charlotte Church, because she's always
She's always brilliant,
yes,
isn't she?
But I think the one that stuck out for me was Shakin' Stevens, back home in Cardiff.
He was, yeah, local lad, Cardiff born, Cardiff bred. He was
That's right,
really
yeah.
special. And what about little Iwan? Shaky for him too?
I would imagine so.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the consensus. We all vote for Shaky. So let's remind ourselves of what it was like and soak up the atmosphere. Well, now it's payback time here in Cardiff.
Yeah, we've had great fun, but now we've got to clear up all the rubbish from the crowds last night. Can we have some help, please,
Come
guys?
on, lads, please. Oh, goodness.
Thanks very much. Shauna, it's over to you in Belfast.
Oh, dear me.
Well, we've had an amazing 28 hours celebrating the new millennium here in Northern Ireland. There have been some spectacular sights in Derry, Belfast and all over the province. Here are some of the highlights.
They've declared the People's Republic of Tonga here in Rosslea. They've gone the whole hog, they've even got the passports, and so they're going to be partying earlier than anyone else. Everyone's in the pub. This is the Kitchen Bar, one of Belfast's oldest. Come with me. Where everyone, as you can see, the significance of world time zones has finally hit here in Belfast. The latest excuse to raise a glass is, of course, the Australian New Year, and the guys are giving us the Waltzing Matilda.
I wouldn't want to be anywhere else in the whole wide world.
The voices of Derry and Dublin unite for 2 billion viewers around the world to sing one of the best-known songs from this island, Danny Boy.
Stay a while with your own. Just one more day. One more day with your own. For the world is so cold. I don't care nothing for the soul you share with your with your own one. For old lang syne, my dear. For old lang syne.
A future for our children. That is our vision.
Let me hear you. For
Thank you very much, Ireland, and thank you as well, Shauna. Well, now it's time to have a look at some of the highlights of the past 28 hours all around the UK.
Over the next 28 hours, as the Earth spins on its axis, we're going to be following the sun setting on the old millennium and rising on the new. And the clock here at Greenwich is already ticking away the final minutes and seconds to the new century. 14 hours, 44 minutes, 22, 21, 20 seconds and counting. And we're here at Greenwich because this is the universally acknowledged home of time.
Here we are then with the first stage of it all. The midnight line has passed over New Zealand, Gabby.
Thank you, Peter. I'm worried about your cold bug. I've got a cough sweet.
I'm croaking a bit. Let me see if I can catch it. I'm sure I will.
Hold on.
Oh, I'm coming closer.
Come on. Oh, I'll meet you in the middle. There we are.
What is it?
It's a cough suite.
I'm here in the middle of the Thames on board HMS Westminster, which is anchored right on the Meridian line itself. Over there is Greenwich, behind me is the Dome, so we really are at the heart of the Millennium activities.
Will take away your pain when the miracle of love comes your way again. Cruel is the night that covers up your fears, tender is the one that wipes away your tears.
Over in maternity is midwife Sue Marshall. Good morning, Sue. Are you expecting it to be very busy?
Good morning, Nick. We certainly are, actually. I have to say, it's been going like a fairground downstairs in the labour ward. We had 14 babies yesterday, which is above average. We had 5 since midnight, and there's about another 10 women who are in labour at this moment as we speak.
I give you this ring
I give you this ring
as a sign of our marriage.
as a sign of our marriage.
With my body, I honour you.
With my body, I honour you.
All that I am, I give to you.
All that I am, I give to you.
And all that I have, I share with you.
And all that I have, I share with you.
The Millennium Book actually arrived here about 5 minutes ago, and it's actually on its way to the communication tower.
There's a sign over the door of St Andrew's Church here in Plymouth which says Resurgam. It was put there after a night of devastating bombing during the last war, and it means I will rise again. And so it is that this beacon is seen by many as kindling yet another spirit of rebirth for Plymouth and the southwest.
All together now, lads, always look on the bright side of life.
Well, hopefully you're seeing some spectacular pictures here of this amazing water procession down the River Tyne, and it's seen the symbol of a small boy, the symbol of the new millennium.
I was dreaming of the past, and my heart was beating fast. I began to lose control. I began to lose control.
To everyone here and throughout Britain, have a happy and wonderful new year. From us all here in Britain to people throughout the world, we wish you peace, we wish you prosperity in the new millennium.
Those wonderful views from London. Now, for the past 28 hours, myself and others up here in the Crow's Nest have been watching what's happening in the rest of the world and picking out the very best of them. So what I've got for this final segment from the Crow's Nest is the best of the best. So let's roll with the good times of 99 and 2000.
My dear child, take this torch of peace and hope from Kiribati, so that it may light the whole world.
As it says in the Old Testament, there is a time for everything under heaven, and in Kiribati it was time to celebrate. A tiny island nation, but the first in the world to greet the new age. It was a much bigger party in Sydney 3 hours later. This great fireworks display, one of the most fabulous ever seen on Earth. For the Chinese, this is the year of the dragon, and Beijing celebrations were a carnival of colour. The world's most populous nation, 1.5 billion people, welcoming the new century. From the biggest population to the biggest country, in Russia, Red Square erupted with joy. A time of hope and apprehension for the Russian people as they contemplate the future under a new leader. In South Africa, a leader loved by the world, Nelson Mandela returning to the cell on Robben Island where he spent 18 years of his life. The wiser, kinder face of a continent that has suffered so much in this millennium. And the hymn, Nkosi Sikelel' iAfrika, God bless Africa. In the Americas, an ancient people, the Inca of Peru, celebrated in traditional style at the great city of Machu Picchu. The Inca holy man burned cocoa leaves in an offering to the gods. And then to the glittering towers of the modern New York, New York, and a party determined to beat all parties. On Times Square, they were living up to the reputation of a city that never sleeps. But Europe had its spectaculars as well, like here at the Eiffel Tower in Paris. In Germany, at the Brandenburg Gate, there was another great party. Across the Irish Sea in Dublin, traditional reels played a Céad Míle Fáilte, 100,000 welcomes to the new millennium. There were, of course, many reminders of the spiritual foundation of this moment. In Bethlehem, birthplace of Christ, they celebrated with religious services. The world-famous college choir sang songs of love and hope for the future. But with quieter voice, in the South Seas, one of the first millennial babies was being born.
This baby was born in New Zealand, the first girl of the millennium.
Named after my mother. She's Tupo, the Anya.
Our journey around the world ends where it began, on Millennium Island, Kiribati. Here, the first place to greet the millennium was also the first to see the sun rise. And here at the end, the words of the poet R.S. Thomas are worth quoting. I show you, he said, a new world risen, stubborn with beauty. Beauty indeed.
Some incredible, incredible images there. Now we go over to Hugh Edwards for a news roundup.
All of the world has now entered the 21st century. From coast to coast, America celebrates as the midnight hour arrives. And here, after all the partying, the big clear-up is well underway. At noon, thousands of bells rang out across the United Kingdom. A very good afternoon to you. The biggest party the world has ever seen is now coming to a close as the entire globe has crossed the line into the 21st century. Just 2 hours ago, Western Samoa was the last inhabited place on Earth to enter the new millennium. Here at home, bells have been ringing in churches across the United Kingdom. And of course, after all the partying, the clearing up operation is now well underway.
London greeted the new millennium with an explosion of noise and light in the midnight sky. Over 2 million people lined the embankment to watch volleys of fireworks chase each other down the Thames. Only the River of Fire, an expected 200-foot wall of flame designed to mirror the movement of time, failed to make an impact. At the Dome in Greenwich, the home of time, the Prime Minister, the exponent of a people's monarchy, joined hands with the Queen and danced in a new century together. Some guests did have to queue for hours for their tickets, but when they reached the Dome, they found a tapestry of dance, music, and colour. Here it was remembered that the celebrations were intended to mark 2,000 years of the Christian era.
Jesus said, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart, and your neighbour as yourself."
In Edinburgh, the largest Hogmanay ever, 5 tons of fireworks exploded in 4 minutes. In Stonehaven, they staged the ancient Fireball Festival. At the Millennium Stadium in Cardiff, nearly 60,000 danced to the music of the Manic Street Preachers. In small towns across the country, like Devizes in Wiltshire, they celebrated with street parties. In Belfast, 40,000 gathered for an open-air concert in the city centre. Then the partying subsided. The brilliant dawn of a new century rose over Belfast, a city so scarred by the hatreds of the past 100 years. Last night, these islands defied those who had warned that the millennium would be an occasion for protest and disorder. Instead, it was a moment to dream that with the passing of time, there might just be a different future. Gavin Hewitt, BBC News.
And the last parts of the world have been marking the start of the new millennium. In America, President Bill Clinton launched spectacular celebrations across the country from New York to Hollywood.
Times Square, New York City. The United States of America enters the year 2000. Four tons of confetti rained down, tens of thousands of balloons and fireworks went up, and an estimated 3 million people were there to watch. In Washington, the celebrations were launched by President Clinton.
Our children are ready. So again, the torch is passed to a new century of young Americans.
The Brazilian city of Rio de Janeiro led South America's celebrations. There, more than 1 million people gathered on Copacabana Beach.
Para que llegue a ti.
In Peru, the Millennium Year was welcomed with the Festival of the Moon, reflecting the country's ancient Inca civilization. Spiritual resonance gave way to glitter on America's west coast as Hollywood greeted the year 2000. And then out into the Pacific again, where the circle was completed on the island of Samoa, the last place on Earth to welcome the new year. In 2,000 years, the world has never shared an experience to match it, stepping forward together with hope for a better tomorrow. Nicholas Witchell, BBC News.